All right. Had a bit of a delay there, but it will. Oh, okay. All right. I just had to, a lot of things happen there real quick. Okay. Still getting used to all this, and I still don't have it exactly how I want it yet. So constantly testing new things. And oh, hey, Death the Kid. Good to see you, man. Wow, you got in here. I'm always amazed. Yeah, you are the first person here. I'm always amazed when people hop in here within like the first minute. I don't know why. I always find it really impressive. I'm like, damn, that message goes out fast. All right, good to see you, man. Yeah. Yeah, so I was just kind of quickly saying I'm still kind of getting used to everything here, and I actually have a plan to do some reading and some research pretty soon, a little bit more on how this studio editor works and all that. Oh, hey, Braden, good to see you, dude. All right, it's all good. You can just jump in, say hi, and then dip out if you need to. Just like normal, I'll leave the stream up, and you can review it if you don't get to come back in, and that's not a big deal. So thanks for being in here, man. Oh, it's okay. Everybody has lives. Everybody has a life, no matter what people on the internet want to say. Well, it's good to have you guys in here, and yeah, I'm going to be probably doing some pretty heavy research on how this studio editor works, Streamlabs OBS. My dad was suggesting to me that I go online and start just rummaging through all their tutorials and stuff like that. And most of the stuff I've done is just I'm forcing my way into doing this. So that's kind of how I've been doing things and how I've been learning how to do things on here. So, yeah. But I feel like I've got a pretty decent grasp on the basics of getting a stream going. Now I have to actually learn how to make everything look more professional, and I want to teach myself some actual video editing. I have some interesting ideas for making some actual videos, but in order to do that, I actually have to teach myself video editing. So that's basically the next thing on my schedule for improving my channel is learning how to do real video editing. So we're going to continue the Azorius Charm painting here. And it's actually, like last time when we were working on it, we actually made a lot of progress. Like, it actually looks a lot nicer than I remember it looking from the last time I worked on it. Hey, Man Cave, good to see you. Breaking the streams up into 2 parts sounds like a great idea to cut the times down. Yeah, well, I have a really interesting idea for, I'll go ahead and tell you guys, because it's not like I'm trying to keep a big secret about it or anything, because, I mean, I've seen plenty of people do this kind of thing before. So, basically what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to make my streams so that, like, people can come in and hang out with me for, like, 1 or 2 hours while I paint, which is all good. But what I'm planning to do is make it so that the streams won't stay on my channel. So, like, it'll be a thing where people come in and hang out for an hour or 2 and, like, watch me paint, but they're not going to stay up on the channel. But what I am going to do is I'm going to record the streams as I'm doing them. Like, I'm not doing them on the editor right now, but I will, like, I'm planning to do this probably around when I upgrade my camera quality, is I'm going to record the streams, not leave them up on my channel like I am currently, but instead I'm going to then edit them so that they are speed paints. Like, in other words, like, time is sped up, and the videos will be like about 10 to 15 to possibly 20 minutes long of me speeding through the painting, and then I'll probably do like a voiceover explaining like various different things that I'm doing in the painting. So that way I can have my 1 to 2 hour sessions hanging out with you guys while painting, and then also, like, and we can have a good time and hang out and, like, chat about painting and things like that. And then instead of leaving them up so that people have to get all the way through, 1 or 2 hours of watching something, they can instead go on and, like, watch everything for, like, 10 to 15 minutes in a time-lapse video. So that's kind of my plan going forward. That's what I'm intending to do. Yeah, painting time lapses. That's exactly it. That's what I wanna set up on this channel, and I think that'll be a lot more friendly to the algorithm for YouTube as well. I think it'll get my stuff a little bit more recommended to people. Hey Bo Falcon, good to see you, and no worries. You play some arena, you have a good time, you do whatever you're gonna do. Okay, man. So just glad to have you in here. It's no worries. So let's go ahead and get some colors set up here. So obviously here's the card from the last time we worked on it, for anybody who wants to kind of see it a little bit better. We did a lot of really cool shading along the borders here, so it really blends in very, very nicely. There are a couple colors that I want to add alongside the borders here, but right now I'm just going to keep it as it is right now, and we're just going to try and focus down on the bottom parts down here to really get that filled in and blending more properly. So that's pretty much what this is going to be focused on. I do expect this stream to, be the finishing of this card, so that'll be fine. I'm on vacation and will be absent from streams until Thursday. Well, that's okay, Braden. You don't worry about it. It's all good. I appreciate you being here when you can make it, so no problem, dude. I totally understand. So I'm going to get this out of the way, and we're going to do some color mixing here. Get this guy out of the way. I'm going to take a swig of water real fast because it's hot. Got my glass bottle of fresh ice cold water here, which is very nice. Very refreshing. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some color mixing. So we're pretty much going to use the same colors we did last time. As you guys have probably noticed, the last time when I worked on it, I put down a fresh piece of paper because my previous one was so covered in crusty colors that I really couldn't mix very well on it. So I changed that out. And we've only used a few colors here, which is fine because luckily this particular painting doesn't require lots and lots of color. It's mostly working with like a varying different set of shades of blue and phthalo green, obviously. And so it's been really nice to just kind of work with only a couple of colors. I like doing things that way sometimes. So we're just going to go ahead and set up the phthalo green first. And as you guys all know, that's my really expensive paint, so I don't like to use it very much. Just got a teeny tiny dab of it right there. And I'm going to go ahead and lay down some ultramarine blue, because I do like the ultramarine blue. It does a lot of work for us over here. So just like a little dab. I probably don't need very much of it. And just go ahead and put that guy right over here. I'm still getting used to using this new table. It's very nice. But it does take some getting used to. Where is this vacation? Oh, yeah, where are you on vacation, Braden, if you're even in here right now? Tell us where you're vacationing in. Might be kind of cool to know. Just going to go ahead and put a little dab of white. I don't want to put too much because I'm actually not totally sure yet how much I'm going to use of it. Oh, goodness. Okay. There we go. And let's do some... what is... Oh, okay, never mind. That's fine. We're going to do some color mixing. So I'm going to wet my brush. And I'm going to dry it off on a paper towel just a little bit. And throw my paper towel over here. And I'm basically going to be primarily mixing the green and the blue together to get that kind of greenish blue color that I like so much. I think I've talked about this a few times, but it's really interesting to know that a lot of blue cards are very heavy in the blue-green mixture. Like, using just a regular, pure, like, ultramarine blue generally doesn't cut it for a lot of blue cards, which is kind of interesting. Like, it's just interesting to me, because when you start getting into painting, like, lots of different blue cards, you find that it's really important to get a nice, a nice bluish-green color. And that's sometimes really hard to do, too. Like I said, like, I had to get, like, this really nice, expensive paint to even get anywhere with that at all. So, it's nice that I have it. Like, I love this phthalo green color. And I remember talking with somebody who was, I can't remember exactly who it was, but somebody was asking me for advice on buying paint. And they were asking me like, oh, should I look into like a Phthalo Blue? And I was like, yeah, you definitely should get a Phthalo Blue. Because that's the blue that is already mixed with the color of green that you're probably going to be using like all the time. And that was really nice because I didn't get to have it that easy when I first started getting into painting. I had to I had to work with this very stubborn blue that never mixed very nicely with green. Like I could never get a good like it's a lot of like a seafoam green or almost like a turquoise green kind of, and it's very hard to achieve that only using like a ultramarine blue and like a yellow. Like you're gonna have a rough time with that. So it was really nice to get this special green color that I use all the time now. So I'm just kind of getting this green color, and now that I've kind of mixed it, I'm also going to add in some white. You know, I wonder, maybe I should, you know what, I'm going to contact somebody really quick. My father likes to jump in on the streams and kind of catch everything that's happening. So I think I'm going to contact him just really fast and let him know that I'm streaming, because he likes to come in and hang out, and he likes it when I let him know when I'm doing a stream. So let's see here. Doing a stream. Care to join? Okay. So he might jump in with us in a little bit. I really like to have him in the streams with me, because even though he doesn't join the actual chat log with us, he frequently will like give me advice on like technical problems that he's noticing while the streams are going, and I really like having that kind of input. So I like having him kind of hang out with me in the streams and let me know what he's noticing and things like that. So now I'm taking this kind of bluish green mixture that I've made, and I'm putting it off to the side, and oh, let me make sure. What did he say? Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. What did he say? What did he say? All right. Ah, goodness gracious. Yeah, it's fine. He's probably busy right now because he's asking me how long it's gonna be. So let me. Like an hour and a half, maybe. I don't know. I kind of just go with it. I try to keep it under. I've been making an effort to make sure that my streams are no longer than like 2 hours. But I don't really know, because like there are times where I'm like, oh, like this stream's only going to go for an hour, and then it's like 2 hours later. So I'm not 100% sure yet. I guess it's just going to kind of go with the flow of whether or not how often I'm talking too much and not painting, because that sometimes happens to me, because I am as you probably have noticed, I'm kind of a windbag. I talk a lot, so that's just the kind of person I am. I like to chit chat a lot, even if it's at nothing. I am currently well, I guess I'm, like, you guys are all hanging out in here with me, so I guess I'm not talking at nothing. Like, you know what I mean? I got people to hang out with. I think I'd be okay. I was also thinking, because like there are times where like I've heard like some people who do Let's Plays talk about how they'll talk about, or mention at least, how sometimes it's hard to talk to nobody. And I think like there was a period of time where I wasn't sure if I could actually do something like that. Like, not saying I'm going to be jumping into Let's Plays. I'm actually, to be totally honest, I'm not very interested in... an interesting fact about me, I'm not a very big fan of video games anymore. I used to play video games all the time when I was younger, and I just kind of got to a point where I started finding most video games boring. And it's like, and I mean, I still play a couple of video games here and there, but they're like really simple video games, like, that aren't really, okay. I play really simple video games that aren't very engaging. Like, I play, like, a couple of phone app games that aren't very complex or anything like that. And I also, like, have a couple of older retro games that I play every once in a while, but generally they're games that'll be, like, um... There are frequently games that will have... I don't know how to explain it. Like, I can just kind of jump into them, and then I can get bored, and then immediately jump out of them again, and, like, leave them alone for a month at a time or something like that. So, I'm just not a very big video game player anymore. So, I don't think I'd be really interested in trying to do anything like a Let's Play. I like to do activities that engage me and cause me... Well, I mean, not saying that video games are not engaging. Like, I mean, not... I guess engaging is not the right word. I think the right word is I like doing things that are constructive, you know, like things that allow me to create something, like hobbies, you know. So like for example, like painting, like I can do painting on let's see. I'm usually at work during these streams, so your talking is really important when I can't be on the phone. Oh, well, thank you, Man Cave. I'm glad you feel that way. I'm glad you're comfortable with my ramblings. That makes me feel a lot better about doing that. Well, glad to have you listening in, brother. I really appreciate it. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm kind of a person who, and I mean, like I said, when I was younger, I used to be very obsessed with video games. There were a lot of games that I would like play non-stop for like hours at a time, and you know, I would just be completely engaged with only playing video games and things like that, and that was in the past. And then I kind of like, there's a couple of people who've told me that it was because I became an adult, you know. Like, they were like, oh, well, that's just a sign that you became an adult. I just kind of found that I got to this point where playing a video game, like, started to feel kind of meaningless to me. Like, I wasn't accomplishing anything that was directly allowing me to grow, I guess. And I liked having hobbies where I felt like I was actually accomplishing something. Like I would do my hobby, and then by the end of that hobby, or that session in that hobby, I would have something physically completed. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's just how I started to feel after a while. Like, I just... And video games didn't really give me that feeling anymore, because it's like I kind of got into this mentality of that, you know, when I spend, like, hours and days and months playing a video game to, like, get to a certain point, I can't take that experience out of that game. Like, I can spend days, like, hours, days, months, whatever, making millions of dollars in a particular video game, but that money doesn't, like, it's not like that I made money in real life. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's not specifically just money. It's just like any kind of experience you can have in a video game. I just kind of got to a point of where I said to myself, well, that doesn't affect me outside of this video game, so did I really, you know, gain much from it? And I mean, there's always the classic thing of, well, it's about relaxing, and hey, good to see you, legendary bird wizard peacock. Blah, 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 big old mouthful. How's the bird god doing today? But yeah, I just kind of like, I mean, I do understand that video games are kind of a relaxation thing, and that's totally fine, but I got to a point of where it, like, I cared so much about what I was using my time and what I was using my time on, that it got to a point of where I felt like that I just kind of started feeling like, personally for me, and like I said, this is once again not a commentary on other people at all. Like, I don't like, I don't hate gamers, I don't judge gamers, because I used to be a gamer, you know? But I just got into a mentality where it wasn't, video games kind of stopped giving me the feeling of, enjoyment and relaxation. And it got to a point of where I just kind of found out that having more constructive hobbies like painting gave me that feeling of accomplishment and relaxation and things like that. And like I said, I'm totally okay with other people who love playing video games. Like, that's definitely not the issue here. It's just that I kind of decided that it wasn't for me anymore. And I know that this has been a really roundabout conversation. I do this kind of stuff all the time where I will start a conversation and then I'll jump into another topic and then jump into another topic and then jump into another topic. And then I resolve them each at one point and then come back to the original topic at the end. Quite well, the nest is cool today. That's good, man. You regurgitating that food for your babies? being a good daddy bird? But yeah, the whole point was that it was talking about Let's Plays, and I was saying how I don't think I would really ever do a Let's Play. Like, I was actually thinking about it a little bit. Recently I've noticed that, like, and it's pretty obvious for anybody who kind of, what games did you play when you were, what games did you play? I was interested into sewing, patching, and tailoring. Okay. Well, okay, so games that I used to play a lot of MMOs. There were a couple MMOs that I played very obsessively for a period of time. And, that was, it's funny because I've even tried to go back to some of those MMOs a few times. Like, I used to play, Elder Scrolls Online. I played World of Warcraft for a very short amount of time, and the only reason I played World of Warcraft at all was because my sister was obsessed with World of Warcraft, and she wanted me to play alongside of her. Fun fact about me is my family is full of gamers. We're a gaming family, and my sister is one of the most hardcore gamers in my entire family. She absolutely loves video games. Like, she's always, like, every time I talk with her on the phone, she's always got, and it's totally fine. Like, I don't mind. It's really entertaining. But every time I talk to my sister on the phone, she's constantly telling me about all the video games she's playing. Like, she's like, oh, I'm playing Fallout 76. And yes, don't hold it against her. My sister is, I don't know if she's still into Fallout 76, but she was a really big fan of Fallout 76. Fulfilling any more for you. Hey, Michael's Magic, good to see you. Yeah, they're just, like, I don't know. Like, there have been multiple times where I've turned on a video game, and I get bored in less than an hour, you know? And I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of it. Like, that's been my issue. So I generally am now at this point where I'm just trying to take up my time with constructive hobbies. Like, that's kind of my thing now. And I feel better. It feels more like me. You know? Like, I don't really feel like I was meant to stay a gamer. I felt like I was meant to create. Like, and I feel that feeling when I'm doing, like, my card paintings and things like that. Like, I am a person who is driven towards creating rather than playing video games and things like that. And I like feeling that way because, like, when I you know, paint and things like that, it's, for me personally, it's a very wholesome activity. I feel very fulfilled in the process, and I feel like I'm doing what I was meant to do, and I get a lot out of that. Like, that's my thing, you know? And it's like I said once again, that it's okay that, you know, other people don't feel that way, and it's okay that people like to play video games, and, you know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And I mean, and that's not even, and the thing is to say is that, like, I can't even necessarily say that video games don't accomplish anything. Like, I can't say that at all. Because video games, like, the process of playing video games, first of all, has proven to be a medium of entertainment. Let's face it, one of the most popular things that people search for on YouTube is videos of people playing video games. So obviously, like, there's this whole area of like how video games are in fact like a constructive hobby where people are doing things on a regular basis, and they get like they provide entertainment to other people, and there are people that build careers out of playing video games all day, and that's totally cool. However, that's just not my thing. Like, that's simply what it is. Like, I think that if I were to turn around tomorrow and suddenly turn my channel into a gameplay channel, like just pick up a video game and like expect everybody to come in and hang out with me playing a video game, I think that even if that would entertain people, I don't think I would get much enjoyment out of it. I think it would be something that I personally would not enjoy that much. Now, I will admit that there are some video games, like, one of the things that I will say is that because obviously Minecraft has been really popular on YouTube lately, I'll admit I've been curious and I've been watching people play Minecraft on YouTube, and watching people play Minecraft on YouTube has been entertaining to a degree where I've actually felt like I want to try playing it. Not necessarily streaming while playing it, but I actually do kind of want to try playing it a little bit. It looks like it might be kind of fun, because when I was little, I used to be really into Legos, and I played Minecraft a couple of times, and I wasn't super into it, but it was mostly because I didn't play it for very long. But watching all these various different content creators that are hopping on the Minecraft bandwagon, which is okay. I have no problem with the idea that Minecraft is now once again a popular fad. But the thing is that when you like, even whether it's a passing or a passing fad, you still can't change the fact that when you watch a long play of Minecraft, it looks genuinely fun, and I kind of want to try it, you know? Let me catch up a little bit. Would viewing anime be a hobby? I think so. Legendary Peacock, I actually used to be a major anime fan. That's another thing. Anime is another thing that I kind of look at like video games a little bit. I used to be a major fan of anime, and I actually lost interest in it. I don't really watch it anymore, and I can't really explain why, because I'm not even 100% sure myself why I lost interest in anime. But it just kind of at some point, like I want to say it was around 2015 that I realized that I wasn't very interested in anime anymore. And I don't know why that is. Like I said, it's probably another one of those things where people will be like, oh, well, you're just turning into an adult. Like, you stopped liking video games, and you don't like anime anymore, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just my taste changing, you know? And I don't hate anime either, because I have a favorite anime that I actually watch once every single year. I have a rule that I have to watch it once a year because it's my favorite anime of all time. And so, I mean, I still love anime in the sense that my favorite anime of all time, I still watch it once a year. And for anybody that's curious, my favorite anime of all time is FLCL. That is my #1 favorite anime of all time. That anime is the anime that made me love anime. I used to watch, when I was a kid, Dragon Ball Z, and pretty much just Dragon Ball Z. I watched Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid. But I wasn't really an anime person, and that truck sound is very annoying. Is it going to go away? Alright, hold on, I'm going to close my window. Alright, there we go. That was really annoying to me. Okay, so I used to be into Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid, but I didn't really watch anime, just Dragon Ball Z. And what ended up happening was then I discovered, by accident, this was purely by accident, I basically was staying up late as a kid one night, and the program Toonami came on. And Toonami came on when I was very young, and the very first anime series I ever watched that they played on Toonami for me was they premiered FLCL for the first time ever. And I watched that show, like I saw the very first episode when it first aired for the first time on Toonami. And after the first episode, I was hooked. And I stayed up every night that they did the premieres for FLCL. And I got to watch the whole first run-through of FLCL on Toonami. And that's what hooked me on anime. After that, like after seeing the 6 episodes of FLCL, I was hooked for life, and I actually made it a ritual to go out and watch other animes. So if it wasn't for FLCL, I would have never been an anime kid. And I still love FLCL. I actually watch, like I said, I watch it once every single year. It's my favorite anime of all time. Anyways, let me catch up a little bit more. I'm sorry, I'm kind of falling behind because I'm like talking and I'm also painting and let's see. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Cruel Angel's Thesis starts playing. I don't know what that is. I'm into Fire Emblem and Zelda. Okay, those are good games. I've actually never been a big fan of either Fire Emblem or Zelda, but I do acknowledge that those are good games. So, like, no hate from me at all. Netflix cut out Senji jacking into his hand and Fly Me to the Moon. Okay, I don't know what that's referencing, but alright. I mean, I don't know if those are songs or... That's weird. Dragon Quest Builders might be your thing. Okay, I'll look into it. Minecraft is best game. Yeah, I hear that a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of interested to learn about Minecraft a little bit more. And I might even try playing it, but I'm not sure yet. I mean, obviously I'd have to get onto Steam and buy myself a copy of it, because I don't actually own Minecraft. So that's something I'll probably have to look into at some point. Give me just a second. I'm just kind of filling in some white shading here just to kind of get a better understanding of how this looks with the white coloration to it. I'm kind of trying to thinning it out too. Just kind of trying to thin it out just a little bit. Let me see. Loving anime. Death the Kid, your name comes from Soul Eater. Did you know the creator has a new anime called Fire Force? I've never... Oh, wait. I think I've seen that anime. What is it? Soul Eater. Wasn't Soul Eater about the girl who had, like, the scythe, and the scythe was, like, a human being, too, or something like that? I think I've seen that series. I just barely remember it. Just barely. Is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh, man. I watched a little bit of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I was never hardcore into it. It was never really my thing. So, I mean, I would come in and out of it, so I don't really know the whole story of Avatar: The Last Airbender. FLCL is a classic. Don't watch the second season. Certain shows like Steins Gate and Psycho Pass. I was curious when they announced that they were doing a sequel series to FLCL, and my first worry was that they were going to ruin it. But I did want to watch it, and but I've never actually seen the second FLCL series. I've never seen it. By the way, I think I got a message on my phone. It's probably my dad letting me know that he might be... Okay, yeah. My dad just let me know that he's currently watching the stream, so he's kicking it with us. Yeah, but I never watched the second FLCL series, and I had multiple people tell me not to watch it, but I still kind of want to see it a little bit. Like, I'd be okay if, you know, if they ruin it, then that's fine, because no matter how much they ruin the original series, no matter how much they ruin the new series, is what I meant to say, it'll never tarnish what the original series was for me. Because, like, I'm actually dead serious when I say that the original, the original FLCL made a huge impact on my life. Like, it literally was this major life-changing experience for me. And the reason why is because for anybody who has seen FLCL, and I mean, the thing is that you can't really get a solid definition of what that series is completely about, but I can tell you what they are good at making very plain and simple of what is going on in that series. And what is plain and simple about the FLCL series is that it's a story about children growing up and learning to live in the real world. Like, that's what the core of FLCL is all about. It's about learning to become it's a story about children learning to deal with real life experiences and having to learn to grow up in the real world. And I mean, it's funny to say it that way because that the show FLCL is so bombastic and silly that, like, it's hard to even believe that it could take place in the real world. But it's basically making, like, the show makes a lot of exaggerations of, like, extreme ridiculous exaggerations of what living in the real world is like. And I always really like that because it's almost like as if, like, the insane exaggerations that happen in FLCL are almost like, you could almost describe it as a product of a child's imagination, which is exactly what would happen in a story about a child learning to grow up and be an adult, you know? Like, it's obviously a child would, want to fantasize and have, like, silly things like what happens in FLCL happen in real life, while simultaneously trying to cope with the fact that they actually have to be an adult and grow up. And like I said, like, that show really spoke to me for those reasons. It was like it was able to teach really complex ideas to young children in a way that children could grow, appreciate, and understand with. And that's what I really liked about that series. And even to this day as an adult, I still appreciate it. I really do. Should have stopped at season 1. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'll maybe someday look up the second season, but I'm not making it a priority. Neon Genesis Evangelion is amazing, so good call on that one. I never finished the whole series, but I watched, like, a good amount of it, and I loved every episode. I can't remember why I stopped watching it, though. I think I got distracted with something else. Yeah. Oh, talking to my dad. Yeah, he's in here somewhere. Uh, should we call your father Sir Chili? A while ago, somebody called my dad, Mr. Dadanero, and my dad adored that name, and so now he likes to think of himself as Mr. Dadanero, and so I think he likes that the best. So I think you guys, yeah, I mean, you could try Sir Chili and see if he likes that. I mean, he's going with it. He loves it. He definitely loves all the nicknames. He thinks you guys are really cool. Every time he's been in one of these streams, he really likes listening, reading what you guys have to say and things like that. So FLCL is about puberty. The second season tries to do it again, but it had its time. Yeah. Well, it's just that, like, because I would say FLCL is about more than just puberty, but I know what you're talking about because, like, for example, like, let's face it, we all know what the giant robot in FLCL is about. We all know what that means. We definitely know what the giant robot represents in FLCL. but it's like really complex. Like, it just has, like, all these, like, for example, my favorite episode of the entire series is the one about Ninamori, the black-haired girl with the glasses. That is my favorite episode in the whole series of FLCL. And the reason why is because it basically portrays, like, the same concept of the main character, which is the story of a young boy who has to grow up in the real world, and he's dealing with all these complex issues. But, like, his issues and problems are based on, like, dealing with a modern day family, kind of. Like, he lives his day-to-day life with his modern day family. But, like, the storyline from Ninamori is so much more interestingly complex because it's the same idea where it's a story about a young girl who's growing up and she's trying to cope with everything that's going on in her life. But her father is also the mayor of the entire town. And she's basically got this shadow of infamy behind her. Like, it's her father is basically this mayor who has all these people that respect him, and also has like all these politics involved with his life, and his infamy is catching up with him. Like, he has to deal with all of the like scandals that he has to put up with. And what's really interesting is that all of the politics and scandals that happen in the mayor's life are reflected upon the young girl Ninamori. And everything that happens to her father directly affects her lifestyle and her ability to cope with growing up. And it's like, it's very interesting because there are parts of it that are like really sad, but also you can tell that she's a very intelligent girl for her age, and she has learned how to cope with having to deal with all the politics and the infamy and all that stuff that her father has unintentionally had to put her through. Fascinating storyline, and Ninamori herself is a fascinating character. Like, I love her to death. She's probably like the second deepest character in the entire story, other than the main character himself. Let's see. I like the sound of it. If you watch anime, you need to watch Evangelion Gurren Lagann, FLCL, Trigun, and Cowboy Bebop. I have been recommending Cowboy Bebop so many times. I've never seen it, but I do want to see it. And also, I watched a playthrough of a video game that was apparently I didn't know this until I found out later after doing so, because there was this game that was so interesting to me. The game was called Catherine. Have you guys ever seen Catherine, or have you played the game Catherine? So in case you guys didn't know, and this fascinated me because I've never seen Cowboy Bebop, but apparently Catherine, the video game Catherine, is a prequel to Cowboy Bebop. And it's so weird. They do there's literally a whole ending in the game, because there's like 3 major endings to the game, and one of the 3 endings is the opening to Cowboy Bebop. It's so weird. But I always thought it was really cool, and no joke, going through the game Catherine made me want to watch Cowboy Bebop. Like, no joke. So I'll probably watch it eventually. Trigon taught me morality, deeper concepts of life. Okay, I'll look into that. I really love animes that have, like, deeper, complex, storylines going on. So, if you guys like FLCL, and you like the idea of plots that are deeper than what they first represent themselves as in animes, there's a series that, I don't know if it was ever English dubbed. It might have not been, so I don't know if you'll be able to find it. But I used to watch it as a subtitled anime, so it was all in Japanese, and I would just read the subtitles with the Japanese. And the series was called Bakemonogatari, which is Japanese for the Book of Monsters. And the series Bakemonogatari is written, and it's basically written and it's written and animated by the lead designer who storyboarded and did most of the artwork for the FLCL series. And it's not the original writer of FLCL, but it's the main animator and designer and storyboarder of FLCL. And the series is fascinating. It's so insanely intelligent. It's one of the best animes I've ever seen in my entire life. And one of the things that it does that makes it so incredibly fascinating is the entire anime is designed like a stage play. So, and it's so intriguing how they do it. Like, you just have to watch it. Like, I highly recommend, like, if you like FLCL, you have to watch Bakemonogatari. And it's literally like, basically what happens is there's a set of main characters, and they basically are like, the characters are themselves, but with the way that they present themselves in the anime, they're like, you get the feeling that they're actors in a play playing their characters. And one of the geniuses behind the whole series is that every single setting and scene is built and designed like a stage. So, like, they have, like, the stage, and you see, they give you the basic backdrops, and they give you all of the important stage pieces, and then the actors are the focus point of what's happening in the scene. And they have, like, a few stage pieces that stand out because they're more important to what's going on. But it's absolutely fascinating. It's one of my favorite. It's probably, like, up there on my top 5 animes of all time. Bakemonogatari. Bakemonogatari. Bakemonogatari, or also known as the Book of Monsters. I highly recommend it to you guys. Highly recommend it. I don't know if I said hello to you, Helfer Gamers. I'm sorry. I only just realized you're in the chat. I'm sorry. How are you doing, Helfer Gamers? I'm glad to see you in here, buddy. Oh, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. A show where people drive robots is a sexual-looking position? I think you might be thinking... Okay, if you're... Because you said FLCL is the show where people drive robots as a sexual-looking position. I think you might either be thinking about like a Gundam show, or probably Zoids. I think it was called Zoids. But no, the whole thing about, like, FLCL is that there is, like, a fight, like, there are, like, robot fights, but there's nothing, like, the robots in FLCL kind of represent sexuality, as weird as that's going to sound. But there is no, like, direct correlation to controlling the robot and a sexual position. So I think you might be mixing it up with a different series. But the robots in FLCL do actually kind of represent sexuality. It's very weird. Like, they represent a lot of things, but sexuality is definitely something they do actually represent. It's a very interesting anime. Let's see. No Death, that's Darling. Oh, okay. So Peacock is better explaining it. I'm sorry I'm so behind on the chat log, guys. Basically, robot comes out of kids' foreheads, shenanigans ensue. Watch. Yeah, it's really good. And the thing is, too, about FLCL is the more, like, if you watch it once, like, you're going to be in shock and you're not going to understand what's going on. But the more you watch, like, if you watch FLCL, like, multiple different times, the more often you watch it, the more clear it becomes. Like, you start catching details that didn't make sense the first time you watched it, or you notice commentary from the characters that didn't make any sense the first time you hear it, and then if you watch to the end, and then suddenly the dialogue is more relevant in the ending part than it was when you first heard it. And then going backwards and re-watching it confirms that in your mind. So it's very interesting. FLCL is an anime that makes you think really hard, and it definitely requires multiple viewings to understand what's going on. It's very good. I've been reading more manga than watching it right now. Okay, I get that. I used to be a big manga reader too, but I kind of also, that's another thing that I fell out of. I don't know. I don't really exactly know what it is about anime and manga that made me kind of stop. But it wasn't because I hated it. It was just, I I don't know. I just feel like maybe it just kind of got less appealing to me. Like, it just wasn't the same thing. Like, I'm reading a lot of books right now. Like, I actually have been reading more actual novels than I ever have in the past. Like, these last couple of years, I have been sticking my nose in so many books lately, that I just never actually imagined. Like, if I went into the past and saw, like, my past self, and told like my past self how many books I would be reading like as I am currently, my past self would never believe me because I used to hate books when I was a kid. I did read when I was a kid. Like, don't get me wrong, there were books that I did read. But a lot of the time it was like a lot of my reading in as a kid was my dad would come up to me and he'd be like, "You need to read this book." And I'm like, "Okay." And I would read it, and I would find it like I don't think I've ever been recommended a book by my dad that I hated as a kid. But I will admit that I would have never read those books unless my dad made me read them. So, and I appreciate that. Like, because I feel like also that that probably had an influence on me as to why I love the books that I love now. So, definitely no issues with that at all. Let me catch up a little bit more here. Blah 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 blah. Angel Beats. I remember Angel Beats. Okay, real talk. Here's the one thing I remember about Angel Beats. I remember Angel Beats being terrible. That's all I remember. I remember, and it's one of those things where I would never remember the title of Angel Beats if it wasn't so terrible, and it stuck out in my mind as being so terrible. It's one of those things where somebody can say to me, "Hey, did you ever see Angel Beats?" And an alarm goes off on my in my head saying that anime is awful. It's okay if you like it. No judgment here. But I can't remember specifically what it was that made me hate it. I kind of recall that there was something involved with like it was like a love story, and isn't it like the main love interest is killed or dies or something like that? And like the guy ends up raising the daughter? I think I remember that. I just barely remember it. I think my brain is just like, all you need to remember is that it's bad. You don't want to remember what it was actually about. Oh, all right. See you, Death the Kid. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. um, Oh, okay. Death the Kid actually mentioned that it gets way too fast and went all over the place. I just remember Angel Beats being really bad. That's all I remember. I remember not liking it at all. um, Dialogue, very intriguing. Okay, that's interesting. Ordered a bento box from DoorDash. Oh, okay. I've never been the um like despite the fact that I loved anime and manga, I was never the kind of I was never like the kind of person who wanted to adopt Japanese culture into my life. Like I know that it's kind of like this I think that they call that basically like the weeaboo stereotype, where it's like if you love anime and if you love manga, then you are like obsessed with Japanese culture and like you want to learn the Japanese language and you want to eat only Japanese food and all this stuff. And I've never felt that way. Like I just liked the mangas and I just liked the anime and that was about it. I will admit though that I did go through a stage in my life where I really wanted to learn Japanese, but not because of anime and manga, but because I legitimately thought that it was a fascinating language. Because I did watch a lot of animes that were subbed. Like, so I would watch subtitles and not, dubbed overs. And, but the thing is that was really interesting was that um, reading subtitles and listening to the Japanese language gives you, like, an appreciation. Like, if you do it, like, constantly, like I was back in that time, um, I you gain like an appreciation for their actual language because it's actually their the Japanese language is very phonetic. Like they have a lot of words that are about sounds and things like that, and it's very interesting to hear. Like it catches your attention, and I actually consider the Japanese language to sound actually very beautiful. Like I think it's because it sounds so phonetic. I really liked it, and I did want to learn it. Like I actually still kind of want to learn the Japanese language. The only issue about that is that I don't want to make the time for it. Is my problem. Which was what made me stop learning the Japanese language in the first place, was how much time it was taking. I'm gonna take a quick swig of water here. Mmm, delicious. Okay. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to add more detail to. I kind of want to add some more detail to the coat over here on this side. Here, I'll point it out to you guys a little more clearly. So I kind of want to like add some more detail right here to where the coat is. And it's really nice because in the actual art, it streams out in streaks. And I've already kind of established that with what I've built here already. But I kind of want to just define it a little more, just to make it a little more eye-catching, and just to add that little extra bit of detail that's, you know, just nice looking. So I'm going to use my dark green and blue coloration here. If I can make sure. There we go. Okay. Just had to make sure it was still alive. Yeah, let's just kind of add a little bit over here. And I will get back to the chat log in just a second, because I know I'm way behind. I'm sorry I'm not particularly skilled at keeping up with the chat log, but I try really hard. I blame my tangents. You know, I'll go on a thought process, and I'll just keep going and going and going. Busy here. Order a Bambuto box. I'm going to explode. Sorry for the caps. Okay. The Gray Man, Berserk, Hunter x Hunter, favorite manga. Okay. I've heard of Berserk, but I don't recognize the other ones. I'm going to open up the window again because it's getting stuffy. Need some airflow. And that noisy truck is gone. Okay. Back over again. Let's see. I'm a weeaboo, but I actually like sushi and raw fish. I like trying different countries and regions' food. Panama food is best. Okay. Well, okay, so I will admit, like, I keep trying to justify that I'm not a weeaboo, but then I'm like, oh, well, I'm interested in the Japanese language, and I love anime and manga, and I also love eating raw fish, like sushi, sashimi, but I'm totally not a weeaboo. It's like, okay, sure you are. Sure you're not a weeaboo. Very obviously weeaboo guy. I just, actually, to be honest, I actually don't have, I'm not very picky when it comes to food. So, I mean, I'll eat Thai food, I'll eat Spanish food, I'll eat Korean food, Japanese food, Chinese food. I have a rule about food in general, which is I will try any kind of food at least once. And if I don't like it, I won't have it again. But if I've never had it, I will try it at least once. So that's kind of my rule about food in general, is like I have to try it before I pass judgment on it, you know? Because I feel like that, you know, every kind of food kind of needs it needs a chance, you know, before you can actually hate on it. So that's kind of how I function with that. I'm going to kind of just add some darker misting effect down here. And I'm also going to probably add in some lines and streaks just to clarify it a little bit more. Let's see here. I also kind of want to define this just a little bit more. There's some spots that I'm trying to like clean up a little bit better so that they look nicer. There we go. This blue-green is doing me a lot of justice here. I'm really like what it's putting out for me. It's looking really nice. Just got to make sure that it blends right, which can sometimes be a little hard to do. Sometimes it's tough to get it to blend just right. I might have to go over that with a layer of, like, the lighter color, maybe? I don't know. I think I might have made it a little too dark up at the top. Looks a little too dark. Can't really tell. Detail... Really get that Azoria suppression, yeah. It's true. You know what I was thinking about the other day, actually? It's funny that you say that Azoria suppression. I actually thought, like, and this was obviously way after I had already started working on this piece, but I thought it would be kind of cool to, like, paint another Azorius charm, but, like, instead of it being like this, I was thinking it would be kind of cool to just paint over all the artwork and just make, like, a really, like, I wanted to, like, make it look like black, like a black background, and then, like, the Azorius symbol, and then, like, runes of the Azorius, like, law, like, magic, like, bursting out with light. I thought that would look really cool. But, I mean, obviously, like I said, this is way after I had already started working on this particular piece. But I don't know, that might be something I'll do in the future. Let's see... I'm making an anime channel, so yeah, I'm a weeb. I'm just missing the Morgan Freeman body pillow. That's cute. I love that. I have a body pillow. I will admit, okay, here's the thing. Okay, dead serious. My body pillow is in fact a Japanese import. Because, the reason why is because if you order an American body pillow, the American body pillows are smaller than the Japanese import body pillows. So, like, for example, I actually have an American body pillow, and I also have a Japanese body pillow. And the American body pillow, my biggest problem with it was it was too small for me. But the thing is then I was curious about, like, because people buy the body pillows that have, like, the anime pillowcases on them. And I was looking into, like, the Japanese imports, and I was noticing that they were more expensive, and I was like, well, what's the deal with this? And then I noticed that the body pillows that you import from Japan are much larger than the ones you buy in America. And I was like, okay, well, my American body pillow is way too small for me. And so, I have a thing about sleeping. I have a hard time. I can't really sleep on my back or my stomach because I don't sleep well. I have to sleep on my side. And so I need a body pillow to keep me propped up on my side so that I can sleep comfortably. And the thing is, too, is that I also have this weird thing about my knees. I don't know why. I don't know. Like, I've had this for such a long time, and I don't know what causes it. But I absolutely hate the feeling of my knees touching each other. If my knees are touching each other, I can't fall asleep. I don't know why. It's this really weird, uncomfortable feeling. I cannot have my knees touching each other at all, ever. Or otherwise, if my knees touch each other, I won't fall asleep. So I have to have a pillow in between my knees, so that way my knees won't touch each other and I can fall asleep comfortably. So I actually do have a Japanese imported body pillow. And I love it. It's wonderful. And I paid a really hefty price for it, but I do not regret it at all. I've actually, ever since I traded out my Japanese imported body pillow for my American body pillow, what I mean is ever since vice versa. Ever since I traded out my American body pillow for my Japanese body pillow, I sleep way better than I ever did before. Way better. Like, much, much better than I did before. And yeah, it's actually right behind me. And it's not, like I said, it doesn't have an anime pillowcase. It's got this, I have like a Komodo case for it, which is like also, I think, a Japanese import. And it's just like a really fancy pillowcase. Man Cave, my dad says hi to you. And my dad is also saying the reason why he thinks that, my dad thinks that the reason why I have trouble sleeping with my knees is because my knees are so bony. And I'll admit, I don't have any, like, fat in my knees. They're like all skin and bones. So that might be why. But I just, if my knees touch each other, it drives me insane. I can't do it. Like, I can't have my knees touching each other. It's just not gonna work out for me. But yeah. So I have like I said, I have a nice Japanese imported pillow because they know how to make a good size, and it's like I think it's like something like 55 inches or something like that. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up again, but it's pretty large, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Helps me sleep at night. Let's see here. You ever have wasabi that makes you feel like you got punched in the face? I love wasabi, Peacock. I am a big wasabi fan, and whenever I have sushi or sashimi, whenever I get sushi or sashimi, I will take the entire chunk of wasabi, and I will throw it in a dish with soy sauce, and I will eat all of it with my sushi. It's just, I love it. It's delicious. And I've also, one time I ate a whole chunk of wasabi for $20 as a kid. And I made $20, and I cried. I cried a lot. Because that was a very, I mean, I made $20, so I can't feel bad about it, but it was a very interesting experience for me. Give me just a second. I will get back to the chat as soon as I can finish this little detail that I'm trying to put together here. There we go. Let's see. Would you try Accutac? I don't know what Accutac is, Man Cave. Hellex. Between logic, science, and my wife's brother, they ruined anime for me. Okay. Wife's brother is too in-depth a conversation for chat, but I'm a very logical and scientific thinker, and I assume that's continued in your next message. I make my own body pillow. Okay. You do you, Troll Warrior. It's all good. Exactly like me, I have to sleep on my side and my leg propped up in a hump. Okay, I get that. So, I mean, yeah. I think it might just be because of my body type. Like, I think that might be it. But yeah, I have to sleep with a body pillow, because it's just, I can't sleep without one. I'll be straight up about it. It's, I actually call it my therapeutic pillow. Because, I mean, I actually do need it for, like, therapeutic reasons. Like, because, no joke, if I don't have my body pillow, it's very hard for me to fall asleep. I'm fine with breaking the laws for art and entertainment, but anime breaks the laws they create for themselves, and that sucks. Okay, I get that. Power Creep and Dragons, ooh, let me go ahead and help you out there. Let's see. Power Creep in Dragon Ball Z is a fine example of an anime that breaks its own rules every new season. So Hellex, like, one of the things, I know what you're talking about, because, like, I've seen, like, it's not only, like, anime and stuff like that, it's, like, television shows and movies, too, in general. They'll, like, set rules for themselves, and then they'll break their own rules. So, like, and that's really annoying, because I've had plenty of shows that I've watched where, like, they do stuff like that, and it's like they violate, like, what they've established their show to be about, and that's really annoying, and I have definitely had experience with that, but one of the things that I started doing that allowed me to appreciate anime a lot more, like when I was younger, was I started looking at it more like an art medium. Like, not necessarily as, like, a, like, as particularly always a TV show, but I also tried to look at it as, like, because, like, anime in its own special way is, like, its own unique form of art. And, like, and I'm really picky about anime, because, like, I don't like stereotypical animes that just kind of do the same thing over and over again. Like, I was talking about how my favorite anime of all time is FLCL. And FLCL is this really weird, abstract anime that has all this intrigue and all these weird things happening, and it's all, like, in the end of it all, like, it all really does come together and make sense, but it does it in this really strange and abstract way that you can't appreciate unless you set aside the rules of science and common logic and things like that. And so, like, Like, and that's also like when I was talking about the other show that I love and adore, Bakemonogatari. Like, it's the same idea where it's like it's really abstract and strange, but like you can appreciate it almost like an art form. Like they can go ahead and violate like what they want to violate for the purpose of them showing you a interesting perspective on their own art, kind of, you know? And I really enjoy that. Like, I really can enjoy how that's done in certain animes. So the secret is just like, and also don't watch anime with people that suck. Just don't do it. Um, Another really interesting thing is Hellex. If you want to watch an anime that's actually really deep and scientific and incredibly well thought out, I highly suggest you. This is another one of my favorite animes of all time. Look up an anime called Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex is one of the most deep and fascinating science fiction animes I've ever seen, and it's very well built in reality. Like they give you a world of what Japan like would look like far in the future, but like their perspective of what Japan would look like in the future, in the far future, is based on our current pace of technology. So, like, based on the current direction and speed at which our technology is growing in our current world, is what influences the perspective of future technology in the anime Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. And it's very fascinating. Like, it's very deep, it's very interesting. It makes you think a lot, and it's just very like logical. Like it makes a lot of things that make it, and it's also like there are things where there are episodes of that show of Ghost in the Shell standalone complex that are like genuinely horrifying, and there are also episodes that are genuinely tragic. Like it's just a very good show. It's very well rounded and very interesting, and it's very well established in a reality that you could actually believe could exist. Um, I take breaks with hobbies. Like right now, I stopped watching wrestling. Okay, I've never been a very big wrestling fan, Peacock. It's just not my thing, which is fine. It's another one of those things where it's like if you love it, more power to you. There's nothing wrong with that. But me personally, I am not a wrestling fan. Uh, Naruto as well. Throwing black holes at each other near the end. That's alright. I was never a Naruto fan. I tried watching it and I just decided it wasn't my thing. Um, I will admit, though, when it comes to Naruto, there was one character that I really liked, and it was because he's the only thing I really remember about the show. He was the only interesting character in the whole show for me. He's the guy who had the ability to control his shadow, and his shadow could like trap people. And he was like they personified him as this very smart, intelligent character, and the way that they when they did episodes that were about him, it was really well written and well done. And I really liked that. I thought that it was the only interesting character in the entire show. But I can't remember his name. And he was not even like a main character or anything like that. He was just like a side character. And I just thought it was funny because I liked him and he was like not a very important character. And I thought he was better than most of the important characters in the show anyways. But yeah, that Naruto was never really my thing, so I just never got into it. Let's see here. Eskimo's ice cream, nice. Greetings, fish. Interesting. Man Cave. I didn't know. Is that true? Is that true? Are you trolling me right now? Are Eskimo's ice cream made with fish? Or are those two separate ideas? Thick pillows on only way to get the right thickness. I made the body pillow up in a ball. Oh, okay. I know what you mean. I used to do that as a kid too, before I was allowed to have my own body pillows. I would actually like have like 2 or 3 pillows, and they would be in between my legs and stuff like that. Um, do you think you can tackle foils? I'll send you a From the Vault Aurelia to mess with. Okay, so Peacock, I want to learn how to alter foils, but I don't really know the process. There's a couple of artists that I've been watching who actually have a process for altering foils, and that's something that I do want to look into and learn, but I don't really know how to do it. So, you know what? If I can actually teach myself how to alter foils, I will get back to you on that. Like, if I can make a foil, like, alter a foil and make it look really nice and prove it on camera, I will get back to you, and we can do we can actually negotiate about doing something like that. Man Cave. I don't watch anime with people that suck. Yeah, I don't blame you. Translates to don't watch anime with people like me. I've tried a few times. Every time I annoy the watchers. Sorry, weebs. That's okay, man. That's okay. I love watching anime with really close friends, but I don't like watching anime with people that are annoying. And like people that annoy me for watching anime will be like people who are like, why did that happen? That doesn't make sense. Like, why would they do this? You know? And it's like, well, I know that they explain that in the future, so if you just shut your mouth and watch the show, you'll find out why that happened. So just shut up, okay? Those are the kinds of people I don't like watching anime with. Oh, man. Heavy blanket is my happy place. Doesn't have to be thick in summer. But a big, heavy, fluffy blanket, duvet, winter is my happy place. I know that feeling. I actually have my favorite blanket of all time, which is right behind me. You can kind of see it. It's brown. This blanket, you can, if you see me fondling it, this is my goose down blanket. I've had it for years, for like a really long time. I think I've had it since 2010, 2011. Long time. I've had it since I was like in high school. And it's my favorite blanket, and I don't ever want to get rid of it. And it's this really nice, fluffy goose down blanket. And it's really cool because no matter what time of the year, this is what I love about it, no matter what time of the year it is, it's always the right temperature. It's really warm in the winter, and it's just light enough to be cool in the summer. So I love it. It's just the best blanket I've ever had in my entire life. Ghost in the Shell is awesome, but why did Toonami put it on at 3 in the morning? I get super exhausted. Well, you just gotta stream it, dude. You gotta, like, I was actually thinking, I had this idea a while ago. I was gonna buy myself, the Ghost in the Shell series on DVD or Blu-ray, and I was gonna take it over to my dad's place, and I was gonna let him watch it with me. Because, my dad was actually really curious about Ghost in the Shell when the light... Whoa. That scared me. The wind just caught up in my room and made my blinds go all crazy. Basically, when the live-action Ghost in the Shell movie came out, my dad was kind of curious about it. And I was like, well, if you're curious about seeing that movie, like, you gotta see, like, the anime first. And so we actually watched the original Ghost in the Shell movie, like the original old 80s, I think it was like late 90s Ghost in the Shell movie, and it was fantastic. And it was like the first time my dad had ever seen it, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. And I was like, okay, well then you and me are going to, like, if you love this, then you're going to love Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. So I was like, I'll try and find a way for us to watch it. And when I tried to find a way to watch it, I couldn't find it anywhere. Like, no streaming services had Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex available. So I was like, alright, well, I'm going to have to find a way to get my hands on it, and then bring it over to my dad's place so that we can watch it together. And the thing is that it's hard to get those episodes now. I think I might have put them on my Amazon list, but I recall that they're just, like, really, really expensive. So that's something that I'm going to have to look into in the future. And I don't totally know, like, what I'm going to do to go about getting them, but I think it might just be I just have to save up the money and watch the prices and hope they go down. Let's see. Nara, how are electric blankets? I don't like electric blankets. Is Eskimo ice cream made of fish and berries? Okay, I'd try it. Sounds good to me. If the Eskimos like it, I probably might like it. I eat lots of different things. Like I said, I'll try anything at least once. That's my rule. So I'm kind of at this point in this painting, I just got to mention this, where I don't really know what to do with it anymore. I'm kind of just adding different shades of blue to it, and I don't know if I feel done with it or not. I feel like I want to add like some more white, and I'm not sure like what kind of effect that's going to have. One of my ideas too is that I kind of want to add like a whitish yellowish color, because I have like these yellow streaks up here at the top, and there's a little bit of yellow in the background here as well. So I'm wondering if I should do that. I'm not totally sure yet. Blanket. I'm reading Hellex's information about a blanket. Writing in similar support as your body pillow. I'll kick it up at the end under my feet and roll side to side like a body pillow. Yeah, I know what you mean. I used to do that too when I was little. Sold my collection for a Switch. I got it laying around. You can just have it. I wish I can get rid of these bulk commons and uncommons and foils. Well, you know what? If you want to send me like bulk foils to experiment with, I would be up for that. It was funny. I was talking to Mike Hatcher in his stream today about setting up a P.O. box so that people can start sending stuff out to me. And it was funny because Mike Hatcher's reaction was, he's like, dude, I'm surprised you don't already have a P.O. box. You need a P.O. box. So I was like, all right, I got to set up a P.O. box. So here's what I think I'm going to do, guys. When I get my next paycheck, I'm going to use a portion of my next paycheck to set up a P.O. box. And then I will, in the next stream, after I get that P.O. box, I will link the information for that P.O. box in my description. Link the information. What the hell am I saying? I will put a description that tells you where you can send your mail to if you want me to work on cards or whatever. Or just send me something for the hell of it. And so I will have a professional P.O. box set up for you guys to send me mail to. So, Peacock, you and me, we'll talk more about that, okay? I am more than happy to take foils off your hands, and I would be more than happy to experiment with them. I'll just have to learn the process and teach myself, and we'll have a good time. I only watch certain MTG YouTubers because I like them as people. Yeah, I know that feeling too. I'm the same way, Peacock. I'm actually not very into... I'm not very into Magic YouTube channels. Like, I don't watch deck techs, I don't watch Commander stuff, and I generally don't even watch people playing Magic. The only Magic channels I watch are channels that have people that are entertaining. So, like, I find Mike Hatcher to be extremely entertaining, so I watch him. And it just so happens that he also tells me about Magic, which is cool. And I enjoy the Magic content he makes because he himself is entertaining. I also feel the same way about Cinder Shadow. I don't know if Cinder Shadow is in here or not, but I will just go ahead and say it. I think Cinder Shadow is extremely entertaining. And I think that, in my opinion, I think that Cinder Shadow is underappreciated. I actually find him to be an extremely entertaining person. And, you know, he's the only arena other than Mike Hatcher, because Mike Hatcher does do arena on Twitch, but primarily Cinder Shadow is the only person that I enjoy watching play Magic Arena. And it's because I find Cinder Shadow to be a genuinely entertaining person. I like what he has to say on a regular basis. I love how he interacts with his chat, and I just like him as a person, so that's why I watch his streams. So I know what you mean. I only watch Magic YouTubers that I think are genuinely entertaining. Let's see. I watch Standalone Aria and the OG. Okay, yeah. I assume when I read that comment, Peacock, when you say Standalone, I assume you mean Standalone, comma, Aria, comma, and the OG, which I assume means you're probably talking about, excuse me, Oh, geez. Ghost in the Shell. I assume you're talking about Ghost in the Shell. Wild animal just climbed into your window. Yeah, it could be. I know that slamming freaked me out. I'm sorry I'm so slow on reading these, you guys. I'm sorry. I saw it too. It's under your bed. It could be my pupper. No, my pupper is up here on the bed. He's actually sprawled out on the bed over here. I can show you guys real quick. Yeah? I'm going to move the camera. Here it comes. Okay. All right. There's my pup. Sprawled out on the bed. Lying flat on the bed, having a nice relaxing nap. Alright, back to where the previous camera angle was. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm not painting because I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm doing two things. I'm trying to catch up on with you guys on the chat log, and I'm also trying to figure out what else I want to add to this card, if anything. Let's see. Ghost in the Shell is available to buy for $15 a season on Amazon Prime Video. Yeah, but see, I don't want to buy it as a Prime Video. See, I like to own my stuff. I like to physically own my stuff. So, like, and that's part of my collector mentality. Like, that's why I don't like Arena. I want to collect my Magic cards, you know? And that's how I feel about, like, my video games. Like, I like to physically own my video games. And that's how I feel about movies and TV shows. I want to physically own my... Sorry, the camera angle is a little strange here. I want to physically own my stuff. So, that's just how I feel. So I want to, like, buy the DVDs or the Blu-rays of Ghost in the Shell, because that's something I really want to own. I also want to own FLCL on Blu-ray as well, which I need to do, because I know they have it, and I know it's relatively cheap. I just keep putting it off. P.O. Box is like $60 a year. Well, mine is a little bit more expensive than that, but it's still reasonable. I'll be honest. I actually looked into getting a P.O. Box very soon, and it's actually, their price range is very reasonable. Just reading some stuff that my dad sent me, sorry. Oh, whatever, shut up. So yeah. I just like to own the stuff. Taking some nudes, sending to you now. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you, I guess. My birthday's in May, so you missed it. Oh, God. I think I'm good, Helex. I appreciate the compliment, but I think I'm good. It's on USA Netflix. Check that first. Okay, well, I'll tell my dad to, like, look into it. Hey, Dad, if you're still watching, try looking up Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex on Netflix. Let me know if it's on there. And if it is, you and me can, we'll make some time so we can watch it together, because it's really good, and I want you to see it. Cinder Shadow's amazing. Great arena player. Yeah, he is. One of the things I really like about Cinder Shadow, too, is his ability to... He's constantly trying to be creative, because, like, he obviously does play some of the stuff that's popular, but he's always experimenting with cards and new deck strategies, and I really like that, because he likes to kind of change up how he does things, you know? And I like that. I really enjoy that about him. Badly unsubbed Cinder Shadow dude can make Magic entertaining to play. Yeah. Very true. I'm subbed to Cinder, but never popped in on a stream. He's very entertaining, Troll Warrior. You should definitely come in and hang out with us. I also watch his videos of This Week in Magic, The Gathering, and some of the stuff is boring to me, but a lot of it, like, he'll always, almost every time I watch his This Week in Magic, there'll always be at least one thing that he talks about that I'm really interested in. And I will frequently go in and I'll post a comment talking about the one thing that I'm genuinely interested in. He'll like talk about Arena a lot because that's what he's into. And I'm not really into Arena, but he'll talk about other things too that have to do with the actual card game. And that stuff is generally more interesting to me. So I will frequently comment in his videos about the things that he talks about that are actually interesting to me. My bad, human is not my first language. That's okay. That's okay, Peacock. We all know that our great Peacock Overlord has a little bit of trouble when he's trying to communicate with mortals. Love the new Surface you're using to work on. Looks expensive. So actually, out of all of the stations that I was looking at, this was the cheapest. And this one, I like it a lot. It's called Humbrol. It's got the logo right on the front here. It's called Humbrol. And it's actually a painter station for modeling kits. So like people who do like, modeling, like things like making like airplane models and like other things like that, like RC models and stuff like that. This is apparently a painting station designed for people who want to do modeling and stuff like that. And I thought that it was perfectly appropriate for what I wanted to do, so I just was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and get this. And it's been working out great for me. I have no regrets on buying it. I think it only cost me, I think it was like 28 bucks. I think it was like a $28 station. And I love it. I really do. It's, There we go. I decided that I do want to actually work on another color, so I'm actually going to set that up right now. Might as well put the thing in front so I can show you what I'm doing. But yeah, I really like this painting station. It's got a lot more space to it. It looks nicer than the cardboard box. And I like how it holds all my paints in place. That's one of the things I really like about it. So I'm just basically going to make like a yellowish white. And I'm going to be using a lot of my white here to do this, and a very small amount of yellow. So let me see if I can get this to look all right. So the idea is just to give it a hint of yellow, not a lot of yellow. So let's see if I can get that set up the way that I want it. Because if there's too much yellow, it's not going to work. I use Dez and Mike for MTG News. I'll look into Cinders this week in MTG videos. Yeah, his stuff is good. Like, in my opinion, Cinder needs to get more popular. Because he works really hard, and his content is great. Like, it really is. Like, I think it's great anyways. I mean, obviously, my opinion is completely subjective. But I really think that he works really hard on his videos, and I feel like his hard work actually really shows. And, like, I just feel like that it's just... I don't know what it is that, like... I just think that he is on the path to be a bigger YouTuber, and it feels like he's hit, like, a hurdle. But I think that he's going to eventually get over that hurdle, and he's going to be bigger and more popular. And I'm not joking, I love what he does. Like, I do. I watch almost every This Week in MTG that he does, and I try to be in almost every stream that he does as well. Because he's just a fun dude who's, like, having a good time, and I enjoy that about him. So I basically kind of made this very bright eggshell yellow color. And I'm just going to kind of be very light with it. There's a couple of places I really want it to be, so I'm trying to be very careful with how I put it in here, because if it's too heavy, it's not going to look right. So I'm just kind of like trying to spread it out a little bit, just a little bit. And I think I might have messed it up just a little bit, which is okay, because I can fix it. I can fix it! I can fix it! Story of my life. Oh, I messed it up. Oh, I can fix it. It's fine. Oh, I can fix it. Let me just kind of, there we go. That looks a bit nicer. Looks a little smoother now. Maybe a little bit more water. Maybe just a little bit. What's really nice is, I like to, like, if I mess something up, I can just, put some water on it, and then spread the coloration out, and that generally will fix it to the right shade that you need. So that's basically what I'm doing right now, is just trying to, like, get this yellowish color to kind of spread out more thin, so that it blends in better with, like, the original artwork. So that's all I'm doing. And it looks nice. Like, I'm looking at it from a distance, and it blends very nicely. So I just have to be a little bit more careful with how deep the yellow coloration is on it. So I'm going to dip my brush and keep on going, and I'm going to keep on reading the chat. Most MTG YouTubers can learn a thing or two from Yugi tubers. Oh, you're probably talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, I get ya. Interesting. I have never watched a Yu-Gi-Oh! Content creator, but that's because I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh! So, but I mean, it's fine. Like, nothing wrong with that. And if they're genuinely, like, talented, like, then yeah. definitely. They should like have their content supported if they're actually very good at what they're doing, and if they're actually good at like participating and engaging with an, because that's the main thing for me. Okay, that's what like makes or breaks a YouTuber for me, is how they interact with their audience, whether it's on a live stream or whether it's on an actual video. So like for example, like, because I love referring to Mike Hatcher because he is an inspiration to pretty much everything I do on YouTube as well as sometimes off YouTube. Um, Mike Hatcher knows how to engage an audience whether he's live or whether he's doing a video. So like, because like when you are watching a video made by Mike Hatcher, it feels like he is directly engaging you. And I feel like that's really hard to do in like a video, you know, like it's easier to do in a live audience when people are actually interacting with you. But in an actual video, it's hard to engage with an audience that is not currently there. And people like Mike Hatcher and Cinder are very good at doing that. Like they're very good at making you feel like that they are directly engaging you in their content. And that's something that I can genuinely appreciate. And there's a lot of other YouTubers I love watching. Like, for example, like, I'll be honest. Like, I don't care if it's considered, like, the popular thing or not, or whatever. I find Markiplier entertaining. And yeah, he's this extremely humongous, popular YouTuber that's everywhere. But the thing is that I enjoy watching Markiplier because for the same reasons that I enjoy watching Mike Hatcher. He knows how to engage an audience. He knows how to be entertaining. Like that, and he knows how to do it live, and he knows how to do it in his videos. In fact, I would even say that he is more engaging in his videos than he is in his live streams, and that's quite something to behold, you know? So yeah, I also enjoy big popular YouTubers as well. It's just that I'm not a part of their community, because they're too big for me to be a part of their community. And that's kind of a sad fact about that, but I don't feel that bad about that either, is because, like, I can accept the fact that they are legitimately too large for me to actually be a part of their community. But that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. And I do actually enjoy the fact that I can be a part of Mike Hatcher's community. Like, I love the fact that I can actively be a part of his community and engage with all the people that he engages with and have a great time. Like, I love that feeling. It's amazing. And I mean, I can't accomplish that in larger YouTuber streams, but that's okay because I have these other places that I can go where I can feel that way. So I don't need to feel that way constantly. Just, you know, in a couple of places, it feels great. And I can feel that way hanging out in Mike Hatcher streams, and I can also feel like that really well in my own streams, hanging out with you guys, having a great time, doing what I love, you know? I love it. Let's see here. Perp, MTG, Perp, Habanero, Cinder, and MTG Impact, and Rudy. Okay, cool. That's good. I'm glad to be a part of your regular watch cycle, Mr. Peacock. That's awesome. Just wet it or paint over it. Yeah, very true. That's a great way to fix mistakes in painting. Is just to, like, I frequently like to paint over, but sometimes it's like I can realize that painting over it is not necessarily going to solve the problem. But that's what's awesome is sometimes you could just wet your brush, and wetting your brush will allow you to dilute the color that you've put on just enough so that way it still gives you the right color and shade that you need, but it's also not like obtrusive to the rest of the painting. And I really like this yellow shading I'm doing. I'm actually glad I decided to do it because it's making things look a lot nicer. Let me catch up a bit more. Oh, Habbo. I wasn't talking nudes as a noun, you dirty man. Alex. I was talking to nudes as an adjective, you dirty-minded, dirty. Oh, Hellex, I love you, dude. You can't see it right now on my face, but I'm currently giving you that kissy icon that I love to give certain people. Love you, Helex. You crack me up, bro, Tato. Hatch had me when he had 32 Wow, I didn't know you were an early subber, Peacock. I started on Mike Hatcher's channel pretty late. I mean, I want to say that I started maybe around either 9,000 or I want to say I started around 9,000 or 10,000 subscribers. Maybe before then, actually. I want to say like 9,000 sounds about right. I think 9,000 is about when I first started hanging out with Mike Hatcher. And that was just because he was officially large enough to be put into my feed, you know? So yeah. But you were hanging out with him when he had 32 subscribers. That's pretty cool, man. He replied to a comment saying he only made his videos for a store and thanked me for watching. That's really cool. Yeah, he was very, kind of not trying to be a big, huge hit. And then fame was put upon him. And then he was like, all right, this is cool, I guess. He's pretty cool. I like Mike Hatcher a lot. He's probably my #1 favorite content creator on YouTube. Let's see. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! For about 10 years, still like Simu stuff. I assume I assume Simu is a content creator. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! For like a year. For like 1 year. And all the cards that I had in my collection were given to me by friends. I actually never bought my own Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I just had whatever my friends were willing to give me. And that was alright. And then what ended up happening was I only played for about a year, and I really didn't like it. And I just gave all of my cards, except for a couple of them, back to the friends who actually gave me the cards in the first place. So that's kind of how that went down for me. It was just not my game. I had a hard time understanding. Another animal broke into my apartment. I just didn't really enjoy it. And the thing is too is that when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For a year, I was already entrenched in Magic. Cause like when my friends were trying to get me into Yu-Gi-Oh! That was when I was in middle school, and I had already been playing Magic since I was like 11 years old, so like before middle school. So I was already a fully entrenched Magic player, and like when my friends were trying to get me to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I was like playing it for a little bit, and I was like, oh, it's like Magic, except not how I like Magic. Like, you know? Like, I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to, you know, hate on the game or nothing, but it was just like, I couldn't get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I loved Magic too much. And Magic was so much more fun to me than Yu-Gi-Oh! Was. So that's why I went that particular direction. And my friends were really cool about it, though. They were like, that's okay if you don't like it, like, and you can keep the cards. And I was like, oh, well, you know, you'll probably get more use out of them, so you can have the cards. And I gave them back all the cards they gave me, except for a couple. I do have a few Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards still in my collection. In fact, I actually have a favorite one. I have one that is actually my absolute favorite, and I'll probably have to bring it up on camera because it's my favorite piece. And me talking about my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Card is not something that I can do justice without showing it. Here, give me a second. Because, like I said, I have one Yu-Gi-Oh! Card that's my favorite. So what I'm about to show you is the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Card ever made. It is, like, hands down the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Card ever made, and it's one of the few Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards I decided to keep when I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! This right here is the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Card ever made. That's right, it is Crab Turtle. Nothing can defeat the Crab Turtle. Here, let me get it out of the tumbler, because it's hard to see with the glare. It's Crab Turtle, and Crab Turtle is best turtle. It is best crab, and it is best turtle. This is the best Yu-Gi-Oh card ever made, ever. And it's my favorite. It's pretty much one of the only Yu-Gi-Oh cards I still own, but I adore it. It's my favorite. And Crab Turtle was like the butt of a lot of jokes for me and my friends. Like, I love Crab Turtle. He's my favorite. Best Yu-Gi-Oh card ever. Why? Because he's a crab turtle. That's why. I mean, come on. Guys, come on. He's a crab turtle. How can that not be the best Yu-Gi-Oh card? Magic card. How can that not be the best Yu-Gi-Oh card? It's the crab turtle. Come on. He's the best. And we used to have, like, all these jokes about Crab Turtle, about how, like one of my favorite things that me and my friends used to do was, like, I haven't done this in a long time, but we would sometimes have, like, magic games, and, like, the games would get to the point of where, like, we would want to rage quit sometimes, like, because, like, a friend of ours would be, like, playing a deck that we all hate or something, and we would just want to rage quit or something like that. And I'd be like, I know how to, like, win this game, and then I'd slam the Crab Turtle on the table, and I'd be like, Crab Turtle enters the battlefield, you lose! He's the best! Like, in the middle of a Magic game. Good times. I love Crab Turtle. He's the best Yu-Gi-Oh card. Oh, man. Good old Crab Turtle. But yeah, in general, though, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was not really my thing. It was never the kind of game that I really liked, and so I just didn't really play it. And I only kept a few cards. Like, I actually have a few other cards other than Crab Turtle, but Crab Turtle is just my favorite one. It's just the best one. Like, if I could get away with it, I would say that, I would say that Crab Turtle could probably beat Exodia. Because, like, I mean, Exodia is not a crab turtle, so Crab Turtle is clearly better than Exodia. Right? I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Like, Exodia is not Crab Turtle. Therefore, Crab Turtle equals better than Exodia. Oh, man. Alrighty, let's see. Summed up MH very well. Yeah, there you go. If you look up Magic Origins opening or Pink Peacock Special... You know what, Peacock? Just for you, I will check out your channel a little bit later. I didn't even... It's one of those things where I didn't even know you had a channel, but I will definitely look into it. Like, it's like, for example, like Mez, he told me all about his channel and how he's trying to resurrect it, and I told him, I was like, well, I'm going to subscribe and, like, check out your channel and stuff like that. And I went on, and I actually found, like, a video that Mez did that was actually genuinely interesting to me. And so I watched it all the way through, and then I left a really nice long comment on the video for him, because, like, it was just, it was one of those things where he just happened to make a video, and I was surprised by it, that I was actually genuinely interested in watching. He did, basically what it was Mez did a video that was about, he did a video about altar cards. Like, and they were altar cards that were made by, like, a printer. So, like, they had alternate art and they were foils, but they were, like, a proper printed card. Like, they weren't painted on or anything like that. But they were really cool and, like, really interesting, and I liked what he had to say about them. So I, watched the video all the way through, and I left a comment for him on it about it. And, so yeah, I will check out your channel, and I will try and find a video that I genuinely find interesting. And if I really like it, I will be more than happy to leave a comment for you so that you can, kind of reflect on it and stuff like that. Or whatever. I tend to notice that people like it when I leave comments on their videos, and I don't do it all that often, so I generally only like to leave comments when I feel like I have something of value to explain to somebody. So, I mean, I will admit, sometimes I'll just leave a silly comment, because I've done that a few times here and there. But I generally like to leave something that is, you know, something that somebody can read and actually get something out of. Like, which is why I tend to leave these comments that are like a paragraph long or something like that. I just can't help myself, you know? It's just the kind of person that I am. I like to blather. That's what I do. That's my profession, I guess. I guess you guys could probably figure that out, considering how often I talk on here without stopping. Let's see. Oh, I'm falling behind here. I'm realizing the chat log has gone way up. Okay. 8K, 4K. Okay, you guys are earlier than I am. Wow, I'm impressed. This artist formerly known as Pink Peacock. I watched Mike from the first time Desolator referenced his channel, but my first exposure was the Boss Monster, and I assumed that he was just another shock tuber, and I don't find those people honest or entertaining, so I took a bit more exposure to get to know the real Mike. Yeah, I feel that. I was recommended Mike. It's really interesting because I didn't find Mike Hatcher through any other Magic tuber. What happened was I was kind of watching a little bit of Magic YouTube here and there, but most of the content was like very hit or miss for me. So like a lot of the channels for Magic was that I was watching were not always that entertaining to me, but sometimes they would have like one video or two videos that I really thought were interesting. But I generally I'm not I'm not very interested in like watching box openings, or I'm not interested in deck techs. I'm not interested that much in the Magic finance. So like the Magic content I would actually be interested in was very far and few between. Sometimes I would watch like Cybin lore. That was a channel that I was very interested in because I love the lore of Magic. And but I wasn't subscribed to Cybin. I don't think I think I subscribed to Cybin for a little while and then unsubscribed and then resubscribed. But what happened was eventually like Magic the Gathering just kind of came up as like, we noticed you like Magic the Gathering, and then they would like have like a list of different videos from all sorts of different people. And what happened was I saw like for example, Jeremy, back when he was, Unsleeved Media, was in that feed. And the thing is that when I would look at Unsleeved Media's titles, they were all most of them were very angry, so I wasn't very interested in them. But I remember, so like I actually had never watched Jeremy even once, because every time I saw a video of his pop into my feed for Magic, I would avoid it because it sounded negative and I wasn't interested in that. And then I remember, like, Mike Hatcher, and at the time he was like MTG Purple when I first started watching him. And he did, I think it was like a lore video, and which is what I liked about watching like Cybin. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna check this guy out. And like I watched his video, and I was like, oh my god, this guy is so hilarious and entertaining. And like I just decided to go into his channel and start watching like all sorts of videos done by him. And then that's how I ended up first subscribing to him. And I actually left like lots of different comments on his channel. And I started noticing that he was coming into the videos where I left comments, and he was giving me the creators' hearts for my comments. And I was like, all right, this guy's pretty cool. Like, I'm actually surprised that he's willing to read my paragraph-long comments about what he's talking about. So this guy's not only an interesting creator, but he's also reading my comments and showing me that after reading my comments, he actually likes what I have to say. And then basically I found out that he was doing live streams, and that's how I really got sucked into his channel, is by watching him do the live streams and things like that. So that's really how I found out about him, and that's how I got involved with his channel. and then it's been history ever since. Like, I'm now like a regular on his channel. I moderate constantly. Just having a good time, and I communicate with him on a regular basis, which is really cool. I feel honored that I get the chance to communicate with Mike Hatcher on a regular basis and have serious conversations with him. Like, I actually treat Mike Hatcher like, well, I treat Mike Hatcher like he's my best friend. Like, straight up. I talk with him about things that I would only talk with very close friends of mine about. And, you know, he just feels like he's legitimately a very close friend of mine, and I enjoy that about him. So, you know, and he's inspired me to do lots of things. So I love the relationship that me and Mike Hatcher have. It's wonderful. Let me read a bit more, because actually, so I'm going to go ahead and say, here's the deal. I'm actually done with this. I don't really want to do any more with it. I really like how it came out, and I think I'm going to keep it as is. I really am happy and pleased with what I've done with this. So I'm done with it. I'm kind of sitting back and relaxing now and just reading what you guys are talking about. And then I'm going to start wrapping it up as well. So, but I'm going to get through your comments, and we can kind of hang out a little bit more and talk a little bit more, and then I'm going to end the stream, okay, guys? So, yeah, there it is in all of its grand glory. I'll leave it right there as best as we can see. I know the glare is bad. Here, I'll kind of sit like this so that the glare is not so terrible on the card. And I'll keep reading what you guys have to say. Let's see. Then Phoenix the Pink Peacock was then my current name. Look up Magic Origins opening in Mike Hatcher's channel. My channel is not up yet. I'm embarrassed about it. Okay, that's alright, Peacock. You do you, man. Just remember, though, that, like, if you want to become, like, a regular YouTube creator, you gotta jump into it. So, you know, take your time, but, you know, don't take forever, brother. I love Mez. I hope his eye gets better. Yeah, I hope he gets better, too. I know he's having a lot of medical issues right now. But he's a genuinely nice guy, and he's very supportive of a lot of creators, and he has a lot of nice things to say, and he's very constructive with people, and I think he can make good content. Like, he just needs some time to work on it. I don't have a channel yet. That's okay, Peacock. It's totally okay. Mike opened a pack of Origins in my honor. Oh, that's very nice. That's very cool. I'd love to get my channel up and produce... I'm reading Helex. I'd love to get my channel up and producing content. I'm just so freaking intimidated by editing and the technical aspects of producing quality worthy of people's time. Yeah, I know that feeling, Helex. I had the same problems. I was very nervous, and then I decided to jump into it. And that helped me a lot, but now I'm at a point where I actually have to take a step back, and I need to actually teach myself how to use all this hardware and software. So, like, I'm actually about to start teaching myself proper OBS, and I'm basically going to go online and look for their manual, their software manual, and just start reading through it. Like, that's what I'm going to do. And I feel like that's probably going to be the best way for me to teach myself how to use all this stuff. Because otherwise I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to get to where I want to be, or where I need to be, unless I actually, you know, sit down, open up the software instruction manual, and just start reading and belting through it, and practicing, you know? Peacock, the only thing my channel has is a collection of playlists about things I like. My anime playlist is something I work on constantly. Alright, that's cool. I have a few different playlists, too. They're kind of out of date, though. I used to use my channel just for collecting music and videos and stuff like that, so... but yeah, I know that feeling. I actually have old videos, so I don't know if you guys noticed this, but my account is 12 years old. This channel, and I've had the same name, Mr. Habanero, since 12 years ago. 12-year-old channel, 12-year-old name. Not even joking. It's never changed. It's always been the same. And I actually have... I used to have like 5 or 6 videos from 12 years ago on my channel. And I actually removed all of them. I basically made them all private except for one of them. And the only one I left up that's 12 years old is the very first video I ever posted on YouTube. And that's actually why I keep it up. I keep it up on my channel because it's the first ever video, and I feel like that it's a very good testament to the change that I've made since 12 years ago. So that's why I leave it up. And also another reason why is because if I remember correctly, that video also has more views on it than any other video I've ever made. So that's why I left it up on there. But I like it. Let's see. I think Helix says, I think my creative side just far outshines my technical ability. I am a fast learner, though I almost need someone to sit down with me and just see the process take place to apply it. It's really frustrating. That's okay, Helix. Like, maybe you should look into, like, one of the things I was looking into was there are videos that teach you, like, how to operate OBS. And it was hard for me to watch those objectively because I'm a person who's not very good at being taught something by somebody. I am much better at reading something that teaches me how to do something and then actively doing it. That's how I learn, which is why I didn't do so good in school. I'm not very good at being taught something. I'm much better at reading something, learning what I'm reading from, and then actively trying it out. God, that's driving me nuts. Stupid window. But you know what? I would highly recommend. There was a channel that I was interested in that teaches all the operations of OBS, Helix. And if you're curious, I can recommend you the channel. Let me see if I can find it real quick so that you can take a look on it and see if you're interested in it. Let me find it really fast. It's just gonna take a second. Oh geez, where do I hide it? It's somewhere in here. Going to my library, I guess. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on just a second. I have it right here. Okay. Okay. It looks like... Okay. I think this is right. Okay, yeah, I'll just give you the whole playlist. Okay. So this is a link to the playlist that teaches OBS, if you're curious. I was trying to get into it, and I just had a hard time keeping up with it because they talk about a lot of very technical information very quickly, and it was just hard for me to keep up with it. And I'd rather, like me personally, I learn better from reading and then applying it. So, but maybe you might get something out of that because they legitimately have a hands-on approach where they kind of show you everything you need to know. So definitely take a look at it and see if it's kind of your thing. If you want to actually try and get more into it. If not, that's okay too. Don't even worry about it. I'm sorry. I'm only just now reading the comments of you guys liking the piece that I did. I'm glad you like it, guys. I worked really hard on it, and I was very distracted with a lot of things, but you know, it's done, and I think it looks great. I'm glad you guys really like it. Shut up, Man Cave. You know what? Man Cave, just for that, shut up. You don't even know me. You don't even know me, Man Cave. You don't even know me. I'm a great moderator. Shut up. Anyways, I'm really glad you guys like the card. I worked very hard on it, and there's going to be constant updates to how I do things. I'm kind of hoping that I will be able to I'll be able to work on Man Cave. I kind of want to work on your piece next, is what I really want to do. And I'm a little nervous about it because it'll be the first time I've actually done a somebody's commission on camera. So I'm like really excited about it, but I'm also a little bit nervous. But I promise you, I'm going to work very hard on it. I actually probably will take a lot more time. It'll definitely take 2 streams to get it done, but it also might take up to 3 streams. I'm not 100% sure yet. It just depends on the amount of detail I'm going to put into it. But I want to like put my best effort forward on it, and it's definitely, I'm excited about it, and I'm going to get myself mentally prepared to, well, okay, so here's the deal. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm planning on, excuse me, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm planning on doing another stream tomorrow, but I don't think I want to work on, um, I'm not sure yet, because I do want to do a stream tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I want to actually work on the commission yet. Um, how about this? I'll just kind of think about it. And you know what? If I decide that I want to start working on your commission, Man Cave, I will contact you personally first before I actually start doing it tomorrow. And if I feel up to it, I'll work on it. Otherwise, I will probably just start another card. But I will try to get myself mentally prepared to work on it by tomorrow, if you're okay with that. So you just let me know. I'll contact you personally first on Discord, okay? I think my channel's the same since about 2004. Yeah, I can feel that. I understand that, Hell for Games. I want a camera and a microphone, but we'll start with a mic. There you go. Are you just, like, if you, like, you can actually get away with that because, you know, you can just have, like a slideshow or something, because Des does that kind of stuff all the time. Like, Desolator pretty much never puts his face on camera. So, like, he'll just have, like, Arena running in the background or something like that, and he'll just have a microphone, and he'll just do his thing, you know? So, that might be the way to go for you, Peacock. Like, try it out, man. I've done that a lot, but every time I come across, like, missing a step that just stops me in my tracks. But yes, please, if you found something helpful, I gladly give it a try. All right, so yeah, Hell for Gamers, definitely check out that link. I can see you already added it. So I'm glad you're going to take an interest in it. So that's awesome, dude. So you know what? I think this is probably, I finally, after so much time, got through the entire chat log. I am sorry I'm so slow in keeping up with the chat log. But I think I'm going to actually wrap it up here. It's been more than 2 hours, so I definitely have to wrap it up here. I'm really glad that you guys liked how the painting came out. I think it came out awesome as well. I'm glad you guys like it. I'm still trying to fill out the whole booster and getting it all figured out. To add more comments, just oh yeah, it's all good, Hell for Gamers. Don't even worry about it. So yeah, I'm really glad you guys like it, and I'm definitely happy with how it came out. It looks very nice. And I think we're just going to wrap it up. So, that's okay, Hell for Gamers. I blather on forever. I know how you feel. So yeah, so have a great day, guys. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe if you enjoyed everything. And hit that notification bell. And just to let you guys know, my DeviantArt page is in the description below. And also, if you're interested in donating, or okay, Hell for Gamers. If you're interested in donating to my cause, or simply just want to ask for a commission, you can contact me on Discord and also donate in the description below. And as I like to say, follow your dreams, because if you follow your dreams, they'll get you exactly to where you need to be. All right? So have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for coming out and talking on and on and on